What up, what up? This is Rico and my main man, Chris, and this is Popping Through Culture.
What's going on, guys? We got Rico, Roulette Rico, I call him.
Yeah?
Yeah, Roulette Rico. Yeah, because we're just rolling off trying to get the topic for today. But we got the topic for today. The topic is X-Men.
Episode 3.
Episode 3 of xmen97. We're back. Another great week, another great episode. And we got a few cameos and we got a few, like, cliffhanger. We got a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
To talk on. Well, obviously, to go to episode 4, we got that cliffhanger. But to find out who Jean Grey we've been dealing with for the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, we kind of know what she's been doing. She's just been sleeping. But when did this happen? Like, how long has she been sleeping?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
You mean how long we've had Madeline Pryor in place? Yes, it's because they don't really delve in because Madeline Pryor still has the memories of even as the kid. So I'm pretty sure he didn't get abducted. She didn't get abducted as a child.
Right. So, and we all know what 9 months it takes to have a baby. So we can only imagine that the original Jean Grey has been asleep for longer than that.
Yeah.
So I hope they touch back on it. I hope they don't just keep moving it forward, and they actually kind of give us that, that answer that question.
Sure. I mean, at that end, the last scene with Jean and Scott, and they're like,
"What do we do from here?"
So, what have you been up to?
I don't even know you anymore.
Exactly. It's like
you can't tell.
It's like you couldn't even tell it wasn't me.
It's not like I can see,
right? Well, he can see. He can't see. He just can't see without his ruby quartz visor or sunglasses on.
Yeah. Good question. Can Cyclops see while shooting his blast, or is it a moment of blindness?
Well, I would think it's like Superman. Superman, he can see where he's aiming, right? And he's shooting his eye blast.
Yeah.
Right? Or any other laser beam being.
Yeah, but like fun fact for Cyclops, he has brain damage. That's why he can't control his powers.
Yes, from when he was a child.
Yeah, so is it a period of blindness? That's a good question, and that deserves an answer.
Which is also, why was he never able to be controlled? Like, he went to the school of Xavier, to be able to control it. Meanwhile, they just kind of band-aided him. And they were like,
yeah, they did.
Here's some sunglasses. Good luck.
Right?
Right? It was like, thanks. I could have got these at friggin' Walgreens on the block.
There has to be a mutant that can heal you, correct?
Yeah, obviously, it should have been like Jean or Xavier to like take out that mental block or fix that mental block.
I don't know.
You think by now, how many years?
Yeah, right.
I think we'll delve into the X-Men history when we start talking about the
yes, we will,
through the decades. Which, by the way, in the 1940s, the first 1940s of Marvel Comics is basically Human Torch was an android, Submariner, and Captain America, and then some a bunch of other characters you never see ever again.
No.
So, we'll talk about that in the episode. On this episode, we're going to talk about the cameo. The first cameo we get is Spiral, right?
Yes.
Yes. And which is actually good foreshadowing because Spiral becomes a character or an ally for Madeline Pryor in the Sisterhood of Mutants later on down the road in the comics. So that's a cool little cameo nod if you know the characters, if you know the history. Yeah. Right?
After that, we get Magic, first and second form.
Yes. With her soul sword.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Being able to see the 2 different characters is funny because I think we were kind of confused if that was Shadowcat.
No, at first I thought that was Kitty Pryde,
which is Shadowcat.
Wow, I learned something new today. Maybe I forgot that.
I think so.
Yeah, but the hair, blonde and brunette and blonde.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was thrown off from that. I just saw the suit and I was like, "Yo, that's Kitty Pryde with a sword, and she's not teleporting or going through stuff." Which I wish they showed Magic teleport. Why was she not? Not teleport. Well, not only teleport, but she can go in a different dimension and pop out to another one.
Well, it was so quick. It was like a split second.
Yeah.
Morph was in as Magic, and then is it Magic or Magic?
I call it Magic.
Magic. It's probably Magic. I don't know. I'm bad with names. But anyway, it goes from Magic, the normal form, and then it goes into our dark form when it has our Soul Sword.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool, but then is overtaken by Madeline Pryor, the Goblin Queen. And so that whole scene there was pretty awesome, being able to see the interaction with them fighting and everything. Mm-hmm. But then again, our boss over there, Magneto, got overwhelmed within like seconds.
Yeah. Yes. Like he got scraped up. Like big time. He was no stopping what Madeline Pryor was trying to do. He thought he was going to be a big boss and use his magnetic force to block out the telepathy. How does that even happen? You can't.
He got overpowered.
You know.
So what other names does Madeline Pryor go by?
I want to say something. The Rook.
The Rook.
That's
she a chess piece.
But it's something else. Rook. But also
Black Rook. Black Rook.
Black Rook.
Or White Rook.
No.
Rook. Why you gotta make this racist,
Rook.
Rico?
We know her as Rook, and she also goes under Goblin Queen.
Yes, and Red Queen.
Red Queen, and obviously we all know her. Well, certain people know her as Mama, which is who?
Cable, Mother of Cable.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. And but then we got to see Cable go off into the future, right?
Yeah.
With our boy Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Which I just found out. You told me earlier that the M, which I totally forgot, I spaced out, that the M on his face is a mark of his slavery.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that's kind of crazy, kind of dark. That and this was some controversy I've seen on other podcasts and discussions. Like, why would you make a person of color be a slave hunter, and then mark them with the M for mutant? You know, that's kind of It gave me
flashbacks.
No, shit, bro. It gave me Django vibe, right? It kind of gave me Django. I was woo, a Negro slaver.
Wow.
But it kind of gave me Negro.
Wow. If only Marvin was here, huh?
Right.
We never.
It kind of gave me like the Django vibe. And I don't know. It was kind of odd to see him with short hair as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah, because in the trailer, or not the trailer, in the opening credits, you see him with his flowing long hair. And then he got that short hair like you. It's like seeing his pictures in his phone. It's like I've seen like 10 different guys.
All right, man of many faces. Depending on the climate, I guess.
I guess so. Something happened.
But it was cool to see the origin of Cable. You know, and because a lot of people don't know why he came from the future or why he was sent to the future. Mm-hmm. They just know he's from the future.
Sure.
But really, he's from the present. Well, he's from the X-Men's universe present.
Yes.
And, you know, he had to go to the future because Mr. Sinister gave him basically a poison. And,
not really. It was a poison. It was like concoction to expand his powers.
And by doing so, it poisoned him. He wasn't able to live where he was without getting the cure.
Well, Mr. Sinister said in the show, it was like, you doomed him, like, you didn't let me finish what I had to do, so if I would have finished it, he would be invincible. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to make him invincible, and then obviously, more than likely, take his powers, because that's what Mr. Sinister does.
Yeah.
So, in not being able to finish the procedure, he kind of got all messed up.
And also, what's kind of odd is, next time you see Cable, or Nathan, he's a grown man. Mm-hmm. But you also see Bishop, and he's a grown man too.
Time warp.
Yeah. They need to clean that up. They need to clean that up, right? You see Bishop with longer hair, mullet, afro mullet. Mm-hmm. And then you see Cable, which looks a lot older than Bishop.
You want to know why? Black don't crack. That's why.
No, it does not.
See?
Unless it's
hair.
There.
Yeah.
No, not talking about. Happened this year, guys. But we're past that. I accepted it. So
wait, what would you give this episode?
Oh, I give it a solid. I give it a 7.5.
7.5?
Yeah, I give it a 7.5, mainly because we have Ghost. And no, I'll give it a 7.5 because they left a lot of things unanswered that I don't feel like they're going to touch bases on in the future episodes. And
like what?
Well, Bishop's friend, when Madeline Pride tried to basically fighter. And then she became a person from the future. Well, one, I kind of already answered my own question. Why or how would she know that about someone from the future? Well, you just read his mind.
Read his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing where Sunspot's mother, came out of the TV and was trying to attack him.
Exactly.
So it was like, she used their memory to get their, people that they would be afraid of or not want to fight against. So kind of use those.
Well, instead of rating it, what was your favorite scene from this episode?
By far, hands down. Psych, Scott, hit me.
Yo.
Boom! Got that combo attack just like in the last episode.
Yeah.
Right?
That was cool.
We need some more combo attacks.
Yes.
I need some double smashing, AABB, double shoulder pad tagging action.
One of the cool things I liked about this episode was it gave me the same. A lot of people didn't like it because it happened during the pandemic. So not a lot. This movie didn't get a lot of traction, which was New Mutants, and it was filmed almost like a horror movie.
Sure.
And that's the vibes that I got out of this episode. Kind of reminded me of that, and it was almost like this episode was almost like a horror movie based off of what the Goblin Queen was capable of doing, and I thought that was really cool.
The second best scene was, I think, when she was turning into the Goblin Queen. When she totally shh, baby, mommy's working.
Right?
I was like,
crazy.
I got flashbacks to my own childhood. It was like
or how about the fact that when Cyclops hit her with the beam, busted her lip, and she used her blood for lipstick. Villain. That's a straight villain.
It's kind of hot. It's kind of turn on that
scene. A little bit. But outside of that, what would you rate this episode?
A solid 8.5.
Yeah?
Yeah, so about the same.
Yeah.
Same range. We have that first two episodes. We had a lot of live up to the first two episodes that we saw, and then finally see episode 3. But I think we have a lot going into. I think Mrs. Sinister is going to be the big bad of the season, right? Again.
Yeah, I hope so. I remember back in the older X-Men, Mr. Sinister, he has no purpose. He has a purpose, but nothing ever unfolds with him. There's never no, he kind of pops in and he pops out, and then he's not a memorable villain to me. He does very bad things, but you don't ever defeat him, but he never wins. He's just all right, well, I'll try again later.
Well, there was a whole comic book run for Sinister, a few years back, The Sins of Sinister.
Yeah.
So you have to dive into that and how Mrs. Sinister clones everyone, and then in the Krakoa age, a lot of the people are Sinister clones or have his little diamond in there, which actually Mrs. Sinister winds up having 4 clones that works off of the main Mrs. Sinister is Dr. Stasis and the 3 other people, because I'm terrible with names, but hopefully I'll remember at some point during these credits. Anyway, but Mrs. Sinister is one of those big bads that just come and goes, but I think is easily defeated. I think that might be why he's so not memorable, because he's so easily defeated. And then it's okay, well, he's here making a noise. Okay, let's just shoot him away.
Yeah, right?
All right,
he gives up easily. He's all right, fine, you got me this time.
He's like, I got...
you got me this time.
Chip my nail, damn it.
Two things that stood out to me that I actually enjoyed. One, Wolverine. He's not the forefront of this episode.
I was thinking
he's not the face of this season or of this team. I'm really happy that we're allowing him to step in the background and allowing other characters to develop and
be flushed out.
Yeah, and really get to know them and get to see them at their height. Another thing that I really enjoyed was Storm in the punk rock phase. She's wearing the black leather, we got the mohawk, and talk to me about that. Do you remember what happened at the end?
Oh yeah, we got the next X-Men member.
Oh yeah,
my man Forge. Which actually, I thought when Bishop was talking about my friend in the future who can help, I thought he was talking about Forge for for the first part of that.
Right.
I was talking about Forge, but then you get to see Forge in present time with Storm. I was like, okay. So then I'm like, who is his friend in the future? I have to jog my memory, but hopefully we'll see it in the next few episodes of who that friend is.
For you guys that are into Forge, you guys, I don't remember off the top. Maybe I shouldn't be giving misleading information. But Uncanny X-Men came out in the 80s when you first meet Forge. And Storm she loses her power. She goes back to Africa. And they brought in a different artist. And a lot of people didn't like his artwork. It was very grainy. But I feel as though for the pace of that comic book run and it just looked like an 80s comic book. The artwork wasn't very over the top, but it wasn't very like low budget looking. Mm-hmm. It was just it was like you can tell they focused more on the story than the artwork, but the artwork complemented the story based off the setting. I guess I know I'm kind of all over the place with that, but we will put in what actual episode I'm talking about. And you guys should just definitely check it out when you get a chance.
Sure. I'm going to have to do that. So that being said, I think this was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. I just missed a bowl of cereal when I was watching it.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I got up last week when it aired. First thing in the morning, I was like, we're watching X-Men. And I was not let down. And I'm really looking forward to Wednesday's episode. Mm-hmm. And we'll see what happens then.
So, Chris, is there anything else you want to let these guys know?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, guys, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Leave comments down below because and what your thoughts about the episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts and what you guys think about this episode and the last episodes too. If you haven't talked about or chimed in there, we want to hear your thoughts on this. But most big topic is we got the Spotify.
Oh yeah,
we got Spotify coming, right?
It's coming,
and we're going to be loading up all our old podcasts and all the new podcasts because the next few episodes of the podcast.
14.
Next 14 episodes of the podcast, we'll be talking about through the decades of Marvel and DC. And Rico and I are going to be tag teaming back and forth and ping-ponging which publisher we're talking about through the decades. So we're starting out from the 1939, 1940.
I was about to say that, yes. We're starting from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Origin of Marvel and DC. So you guys stay tuned. And I don't know.
You got anything else, Rico?
No. I'm ready to go home.
That being said,
this is Popping Through Culture.
Popping Through Culture, guys.
Peace
See you
out.
guys next time.
Fuck shit.